Before cell phones, it was hard to take a picture of yourself every day. Wait a minute. People take pictures of themselves every day? Like every single day? Why? Before cameras, it was hard to get a picture of yourself at all. You had to find someone with the skills to make a picture of you, and that took a long time. So portraits were more rare. Selfies are actually self-portraits. That's when the artist makes a picture of themselves. Today we're going to draw our self-portrait using a method that incorporates math, specifically fractions. To do this, we're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. If your pencil doesn't have an eraser, you might need an extra eraser. And we're also going to need a ruler. We're going to begin this portrait with the head. And we're going to draw the head really large. So this is the kind of portrait that you would get on picture day at school. The picture focuses on your face and your head, and down at the bottom, your neck and your shoulders might show a little bit. But the focus is your head and face. So we're going to draw the head large. The head could be an oval. I like to draw it more like an upside down egg. So the smaller part of the egg, where the chin is at the bottom, and the larger part, where your giant brain is at the top. While I'm at it, I'm also going to sketch in the neck and the shoulders. So this is the basic layout of the portrait. Head, neck, shoulders. Now we're going to use our ruler, and this is where the math comes in. We're going to use some fractions. So we're going to consider the head as one whole head. So right now the head is approximately 8 inches. So we're going to cut the 8 inches in half, which is 4. So this is 4. Now right off the bat, I feel like that's a little bit low. So I'm going to move it up just a tiny little bit. Right about there. And I'm going to draw a line very lightly, completely across the head. Lightly. So these are my guidelines. I don't want them to be too dark because I want to erase them later. All right, so now we're here again. This is 4. We're going to divide this in half again. And that is about around the 2, between 2 and 2 1/4, approximately. So I'm just going to put it right about there. So close to the 2. So we went from 8, cut it in half to around 4, cut it in half again to around 2. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. 8, cut that in half to around 6 somewhere, right about there. So you can see that these are not precise, they're estimates. And I'm going to put a guideline here and a guideline here. So far what we did was we took our head, the whole head, 1, and we divided it into halves. 1 half, 2 halves. Then we divided each half into 2 more halves. So now they're fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And then we're going to divide this bottom piece one last time. So it's approximately 2-ish inches. So we're going to divide that in half, and it's going to be around the 1. And I'm going to raise it since this is a little bit higher than the 2, I'm going to raise this a little bit higher than the 1, right about there. And we're going to draw a guideline. So I've divided this 4th into 8ths. There's 1/8, 2/8. If I kept going, there'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8/8. But we don't need those for the other sections. So the way these guidelines work is this line that's the half is where the eyes are going to go. Now I'm not going to draw them completely yet, but I am just going to block them in. So there are the eyes. So right now I'm not focused on drawing my eyes, I'm just drawing eyes. The next line below the eyes is where the nose goes. And lots of people think, oh my gosh, that's really low. My nose is not that long. But really, we're including the bridge of the nose that starts in between your eyes and goes all the way down to the squishy part of your nose at the end. So there's a nose. Again, doesn't look like my nose, it's just a generic nose because I'm blocking things in. The next line is where the mouth goes. Now you can decide, is that line the mouth? And then I can put the lips above and below it? Or is that line where the bottom lip goes and the mouth is a little bit higher? So you can try it both ways. I don't know, that looks pretty good. I think it's a little too high though. So I'm gonna let the mouth be closer to the line with the bottom lip underneath. So the face looks pretty accurate from right here. All the measurements worked out pretty well. The last line up here, this is where the hair is. So lots of people think they start drawing hair from the top of the head, but really if you put your hand on top of your head, that's not where your hair begins. It actually begins a little bit closer to your forehead. So we're gonna kind of draw the outline of hair right here. And you also have hair on the sides of your head, so don't forget that. If you look in the mirror, you'll see that there's hair that goes down the sides, and then it moves back even more where your sideburns are next to your eyes. And then within this space, you put whatever kind of hair style you want. If you have long hair that sticks out, then it's gonna come out of the egg. You know, if you had a ponytail, it would come out of your egg. But if you just have like hair that sticks up, a lot of it is gonna stay inside this egg shape. Ears. So your ears go inside this space here. Now, in real life, our ears don't stick out like that. They sit nicely on the sides of our head, so we're gonna see them flatter than what they look like if you were looking at them from the side. So you're just seeing kind of like the front of the ear as it sticks out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put a collar to the shirt. And this is the basic layout if we were drawing a portrait of our face. Using the guidelines, we put everything in the right locations. The next step is to start altering the details and making them look more like ourselves, which means we might add accessories that we have. We might also add specific hairstyle details or clothing details or expression details to make it more like ourselves. I'll see you next time. Bye.